What's up, everybody? And this is officially the time we've all been waiting for. It is the Schmoedown, Throwdown, the Innergeekdom Championship. My boy, Jake's boy, and Mike's boy, Mike Kalinowski, and KO. We are huge members of the corruption. I mean, I created the page. Jake, he's an active member. Mike's an active member. They're active members. We are so looking forward to this match, and Rachel is here, so we're hoping she doesn't win. But I mean, we've seen everything that she can do. We know it's possible. We've done everything we can with and for Mike to help him study, to help him prepare. We know he has his note cards, his binders, and all that stuff. I'm hoping the pressure of the live doesn't get into his head, and I'm hoping the pressure of having the belt on his shoulder doesn't get to him, because we haven't seen many champions in the Schmoedown defend the title successfully. So I'm hoping that he can be one of the rare. So let's go. But official introductions. Jake, Michael, Jake, how do you feel going into this now?
I am scared. I'm really scared because Cushing is really, really good. This is her league. This is the one that she feels the most comfortable in, but it also is the one that Kalinowski feels the most comfortable in. I, from almost day one, have been a Mike Kalinowski supporter. He's one of my favorite competitors. I'm so happy he has the belt. It's one thing to win the belt, it's another thing to defend it. So I need to see Kalinowski defend this belt so I can feel happy inside.
Yeah, fulfilled. And Michael, are you nervous as well going into this, or are you actually a little more confident?
Yeah, I mean, this is a match where, you can tell me anything would happen, I believe it. You could tell me that it goes to sudden death for 20 questions, I believe it. You could tell me Rachel or Mike win by TKO, and I can believe it. They're both that good where it's just going to maybe come down to the betting round, how many points they bet. It's just going to be little things like that that could swing the game, and yeah, it's going to be great. Can't wait.
Definitely, and shout out Mike if you get opponent's choice or spinner's choice, or yeah, if she gets opponent's choice and you get to pick, please don't give her release dates. So with that being said, are we ready to go ahead and watch this match?
Sure.
Let's go.
All right, we know the drill. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. I heard somebody click at the same time as me, so I'm hoping at least me and somebody are 100% accurate. Accurate? Schmoedown, Throwdown!
Here we go. We are
Wow, they're wearing the same suits.
Well, we know who's going to be playing in Chicago. We know who will be playing in Chicago in that match, and it is the odd couple.
Spoiler alert.
But now we are here. It is time.
Spoiler alert.
For
what if we skip to this? Do we want to watch this first?
The
Dick.
evening, we have the Innergeekdom Championship of the World. That's right, the challenger, Rachel the Crusher Cushing.
That was a weird way to word that.
Will be facing.
Yeah, it made it seem like she was the champion.
Killer Kalinowski.
You said the Crusher, you said the Killer. One of them gets a belt, one of them walks home empty-handed. This is going to be such a heavyweight battle.
Unless it's Cushing who will time, because she still has a belt.
In the old days, probably when you were growing up in Queens, Bayside, a slobber knocker.
Yeah, it's something like that. I'll tell you, there's so much history here. There's so much history when you go back in time when they played in the Innergeekdom in Season 4, and Kalinowski lost to Rachel Cushing. He got back on the horse. He said, I am going to become a much better competitor. He did that in Innergeekdom, but he wound up facing Rachel again in the singles division. Rachel won that match as well. But Mike created the Innergeekdom tournament. Last season, he had a whole bunch of, we know what happened last year.
It's a little corrupt with a capital K.
All of it. I mean, even so much so that he got himself to the finals of the tournament. Him and Rachel never fought. They thought that, everyone thought that was what was going to happen. It didn't happen. But what happened was Mike wound up losing to Mara Kanopik, who ultimately went on to win the championship from Jason Inman. And then Mike figured a way to get himself in there to that title shot. Mike Kalinowski took the title from Mara Kanopik.
Credit is true. He beat
taking the championship and giving Corruption. He gave Corruption the win, and they have it right now. And they don't want to lose it.
Will Mike Kalinowski continue to have that belt? Will Rachel Cushing take it from him? Will Christian compliment me on my shirt this evening? All those questions about to be answered.
It's about to happen right now, and Rachel Cushing, like I said
Nice.
at the beginning of the program, she's looking to become the second ever double belted champion and the first to ever be double belted in the Innergeekdom. She is a solid Innergeekdom player. They are the two best of the division. They are here to scrap, and here is how it all
she's
went
solid.
down.
These promos? Nope.
Yeah, I'm going to take it to the end every single time. You know, just like Steve Rogers, you knock me down, I get back up, I can do this all day.
Coming into the Innergeekdom, she's going to find her groove.
And your winner, and Rachel the Crusher Cushing.
Yeah, he was 0-2.
Performance.
Oh,
Cushing
25.
Because that's them stupid ass 5-ways.
And then they scheduled him and Rachel against straight up, which is like,
Don't forget, Michael. Three-way, 5-way, a win's a win. If you know it, you know
This
it.
is not going to be an easy run. Whoever wins
it doesn't matter if you win by 1 point or 50.
A mile's a mile.
Movie Trivia Schmoedown, Innergeekdom champion, Mara Kanope!
You and I, spectacular for that belt.
And your winner!
This belt, for you guys out there.
The main event
Chance,
is now
awkward
Rachel
hugger.
Cushing looking to become the Innergeekdom champion against the reigning champion, Mike the Killer KO Kalinowski.
I mean, they didn't announce she was the Innergeekdom champion.
She is the
He
2017
was like, so we know the champion,
Rachel
Rachel Cushing.
She is part
What?
of the team champions. Her Innergeekdom match against Mara Kanope was the overall match of the year in last year's
9 overtime, something like that?
11, I think.
Team
11.
title
And Mike
persons.
Team
Kalinowski,
title
the
persons.
Killer. He is the
Don't
current
forget.
IG
Need you to
champion.
fix that, Christian.
He is the 2018 Innergeekdom finalist, and he has victories over Mara Kanope, Donica, Haben, and Adam Lavin.
It's for Innergeekdom for any of you guys not out there
Because he doesn't
listening
have a
who
victory
don't
over
know.
Rachel Cushing. Like you
Does
said,
not.
0-2 versus Rachel. Will that change to the season?
Tanaka.
2 overall and 0-1
That's
in
racist.
Innergeekdom, but this is a big fight for him and Corruption. You know, Corruption wants to keep on to it, and
They can't even spell.
no. Well,
In case you
are
forgot,
Are you ready
Mike's
to
lost
go?
to
I'm
Rachel
looking.
twice.
Do I look
Thanks,
not ready?
Brooks.
All
We
right.
like
crowd's
Rachel
ready.
Cushing.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the movie trivia.
Oh, nervous.
Let's get ready to Schmoedown!
5 rounds.
Yeah!
For the Innergeekdom Championship of the world. Introducing first.
So she came out very regular
the
last time.
Shire Wolves.
So let's see if she saved it like we
With an
speculated.
Innergeekdom record of 4 wins, 3 defeats.
That's Lord of the Rings.
She
I know
is
that
the
for sure.
2017
Last time I was a little on the edge.
Rookie
I was
of
on,
the
you know, I
Year
wasn't sure.
And the reigning movie trivia Schmoedown team champion, the challenger, Rachel the Crusher Cushing. Round of applause and scores 1.
Oh.
Rachel Cushing, the challenger, coming in, led to the ring by.
And this is the first time we're seeing Clark Wolf this season.
Handing over the team championship. What has she got? She's got a picture of Mike. She's got a picture of Mike. What's she got?
Aww.
Clark's like, oh, thanks, Rachel. Just 2 belts. And please don't crush it. That's.
You could have gave that to somebody for Christmas.
And there's Mike up in the air, and there's the crush. She's nuts. The violence.
That's potential Patreon gift you just ruined.
That was tough to see that headshot. It clearly
Boys
the
love seeing
Crusher
Crush,
worked
though.
on a lot, and just to see it ripped up like that is nice to see the Shire Wolves back on the stage. Last time we saw them on a stage, I mean, they were at the Comedy Store, winning pretty much every award that they were nominated
They
for.
won a lot, and we're going to see them pretty soon as they go up against critically acclaimed. But that's not why we're here today. And her opponent, representing Corruption, with a record
Yes.
of 4 wins, 3 defeats.
Is this Stacy?
He is the 2018 Innergeekdom
Oh my goodness.
Mike the Killer Kalinowski!
Chance is there, yes. And Stacy! Stacy!
Yeah. Oh wow.
We found Grace. Oh, wow.
I was like, it's not Grace, she's too tall. There's a second redhead.
Oh, there he is!
Oh wow.
Wow!
There's the man.
Oh, look at smug look at it.
Very cocky.
Ken's going all out.
I never know if Ken's playing or if he's just helping somebody.
Joining the crew. Chance Ellison, the rookie sensation, and now the champion is here.
Man, what a boss
He's
entrance.
just a rookie.
What an entrance! Look at what I love though. Look at the Shiros just stand in court.
They
I love
could
it.
not care less.
Just stand in court with a smile on their face, like bring it.
I would say the word bemused on the faces.
I'm liking it. All right, so there is corruption. They have hit the table. Mike Kalinowski, the defending champion,
predict
is
I'll get
ready
2
to go.
points.
They're exchanging
round
their
one.
pleasantries like they're saying goodbye
I'll
to their
get
son
probably
who's going off to college at
6
the
maybe.
All right, with that, we asked the challenger first. Are you ready?
Ready?
Champion, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown!
You can feel
I hope you are.
in the air right now.
do it.
Let's get ready to Schmoedown. Let's do
We've
this.
seen in a long time. All right, here we go. Here we go. Question number 1. The MCU. The MCU is the first category. In Captain America, the first Avenger, who plays U.S. Army Colonel Chester Phillips?
We should probably point out that the MCU stands for Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Good call.
Thank you.
5, 4, 3.
Not the major crimes
2.
unit.
Repeat the question.
In Captain America, the first Avenger, who plays U.S. Army Colonel Chester Phillips?
Using AJT rule early, doing
Ooh.
the calculus in their heads. It's
Is he
fascinating.
overthinking it?
The guinea
I
pig
think he is.
5,
on
Yeah.
the wheels.
4,
In their heads.
3.
I think he got it. He looked like he started writing Tom.
Mike.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee
Tommy
Jones.
Lee Jones.
Yes. Rachel.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Good start. 1-1. Look at all that gold on the desk. Look at all that gold.
Each have a point. Rachel Cushing, great handwriting. Mike Kalinowski, still some work to do.
All right. There you
In the
go.
category of Star Wars, these are
As I said before, Rachel Cushing, the
Question.
best handwriting in the
Who
league.
stars as Han Solo in the film Solo, a Star Wars story? And why is there a groan in the crowd? It's a fine movie.
It's 5 rounds.
It's a fine movie.
5, 4,
I don't know how to spell
3.
it, but
Remember he met the big dog
2.
and they had an adventure?
1. Pens down, and Rachel.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Alden.
Yeah, Alden and right.
Okay, tie game.
All right.
Tie game.
There we go.
Kind of looked like Mike wrote
Question
Adlin, but it's alright.
is in the realm of DC films. DC. In Batman and Robin, what does Mr. Freeze modify into a freeze ray to cover all of Gotham in ice?
Oh yeah.
No groan for that movie? They're gonna attack Solo?
5, 4,
Batman Robin's pretty great.
2,
I don't know.
1. Pens down. Mike.
Observatory.
Gotham Observatory.
I said plan.
Rachel.
A telescope.
Telescope's correct.
It is a telescope.
Telescope's correct.
Uses a telescope as the
Do you
instrument.
want a challenge? I got to give you a 5 count when you challenge. Now. 5,
Challenge.
4.
Nope.
Okay.
Challenge.
All right, here you go. Okay.
So it's
I would've.
to question number 4 of 10.
Yeah.
And this takes place in the realm of Middle Earth. This is Middle Earth, and your question is, Benedict Cumberbatch plays 2 roles in the Hobbit trilogy. One is Smaug, and the other as whom?
I don't know if this is the pronunciation or spelling, but
Now Mike has
Fun word to say, Smaug.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, and Rachel.
Someone.
Necromancer.
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 I didn't have it.
Didn't have it.
Necromancer.
Rachel going up by 2. Rachel going up by 2 here in this championship
I didn't know if that was the
match.
pronunciation or
Here
the
we go. Next
spelling.
question, guys.
I was
Next
like,
question
Necromancer?
is from the realm of just Marvel films, not the MCU.
This is
Marvel.
not the MCU.
Who plays the Punisher, a.k.a. Frank Castle, in Punisher Warzone?
Okay, great reading, but you just gave away the secret identity of the Punisher.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now they're going to be looking for a guy named
That
Frank.
made me feel bad about it. 5, 4.
Oh, fuck, I thought I had the right person.
Fuck, I
2.
forgot his name.
1. Mike.
Ray Stevenson.
Yes.
I have Ray Stevenson.
Ray Stevenson.
There you go, Rachel. Still perfect. Still perfect. Mike gets at least
Don't jinx her.
2. Next question.
Yeah.
Next up,
Actually,
we
please
say
do.
hi to John Roca, who's all the way over in London. This is your universe, the wizarding world of Harry Potter. And your question is, a big round of applause for the Outlaw.
Yeah.
What is this, Innergeekdom?
What position did Harry Potter's dad play in Quidditch? I didn't know his old man played Quidditch. It's like in Texas. Boy, I played Quidditch, and you're going to play Quidditch. I don't want your life.
4.
Is it the same as his dad?
2.
I know, right?
That's what I'm going.
That's a
Seeker?
Seeker?
I said Seeker.
Mike.
Seeker.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Seeker. 6-4. 6-4.
It's a good Who song.
All right.
Good question, because if you're not like,
Yeah, you can trick you.
you're not sure, it makes you like question.
Famous for her role in Cheers, plays Saavik, Spock's protege, and a Starfleet commander in training in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
Honest question for you. How many of the Star Trek films
No idea.
have you seen? Were you a big Star Trek kid?
Seen all
Nah,
of them.
I'm not even gonna guess.
J.J. Abrams ones. 5.
I know
4.
the actress from
3.
Cheers, but
Dancing.
2. 1. Pens down. Mike.
Ted Danson.
Kirstie
is
Alley.
it Shelley Long?
Rachel.
Kirstie
There
Alley.
you go.
Fuck, wrong one.
Rachel has not missed.
Did she say?
7 questions, but they're only
Shelley
2
Long, which is the
behind.
original
That's
Cheers
right, Rachel,
actress.
3
but-
questions away from a
Might
perfect
have to
round,
get
one
frozen.
in which
She's
case
known for
she will
more
get
than
a
just
bonus
Cheers.
question,
That's
so
a
you
bit of a
better
misleading
hydrate. You may
question.
have to ask an extra one.
All right.
In the world of the DCEU is your 8th question. The DCEU, and that query is, David Thewlis portrays which mythical god in Wonder Woman? I have no doubt what carbonated beverage you're sipping on.
Sprite. 5.
Flavor is
4. 3. 2.
Coconut?
1. Rachel.
Aries.
Aries.
Yes, Mike.
Aries.
Okay, so once again, 2 points behind.
I'm only 1 behind Mike.
Neck and neck here. Mike just had those 2 bumps up top, but he seems to have his stride now as we get into our next one. Heroes and villains. Heroes and villains. In the film Scott Pilgrim versus the World, what is the name of Scott's girlfriend, played
every
by
match.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead?
Do you need the
Jesus
first and the
Christ.
last name?
Yes, the first and the last name.
Like if the answer was me, you'd say Mark and Ellis.
Not David. 5. 4. It's your middle name, right? 3.
Edward,
Wow.
but it's
2.
been fun working with
Not
you.
competent in the
Ramona
last.
Flowers.
Ramona Flowers.
And Mike.
Yeah, I have Ramona.
Flowers. Yes. Rachel.
Ramona Flowers.
Rachel is a second away here now. If Rachel hits this one, she's got herself a perfect game so far. So Mark, what is it?
That'll be
It's
a
going to be a
5th
tricky one because
perfect
this is
round.
a Patreon question. This is a Patreon category, and this comes to us from Jonathan Peck. How about a hand for Jonathan Peck?
Jonathan Peck for Innergeekdom. I'm nervous.
Today, if you're not already, and maybe one day I will say your name on this here program. Jonathan Peck requested the category of mixed bag. Could be anything from any world of Innergeekdom know-how. In this particular question, in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, how many Shankara stones fell to the bottom of the ravine?
The trade sheet.
Okay, don't look. I did not do anything. If anybody did, you did by forgetting my middle name.
5, 4, 3, 2,
George.
1. Rachel.
2.
5.
2.
For the perfect game, yes it is.
3.
Yeah. 2. Perfect round. Excuse me. Perfect round. Perfect round.
I got
It
6.
is 10-8. Mike still got it. Only missed 2. Good
Yeah,
round,
Mike
Mike.
only
For
missed
Rachel
2.
Cushing. Now, Rachel, this is just for you. You do not have to write this down. Here you go. This
Just
is your
don't get it.
bonus question. If you get it, you have a point. Here you go. Bonus. What page does Snape tell the class to turn to in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban?
192?
When he is covering for Lupin's defense against the Dark Arts class.
496, something like that.
It's like 600. Is it 600 or something? I think we're probably way off.
4.
394.
We're asking
Correct.
questions about the page in a book.
Correct. Well, look at that.
I was close. I said 496.
Has a 3-point lead over the champion with a perfect round. With a
Turn to page 394.
3 points over on the champion as we get into round number 2. Mark, how does round number 2 go?
Kalinowski, on any other day, maybe that's the headline, is that he got 8 points in an Innergeekdom championship in round number 1. However, Rachel the Crusher Cushing, 11 points. That's a perfect round plus the bonus. So, Rachel,
That's happening
do you want
Monday.
to spin that wheel first, or would you like to defer to
What was
the
it?
killer?
I
It
shot
was
the first.
Guy and
The
Bennett
first.
versus
All right, Mike,
Finstock and Bateman.
Please spin it gently, Mike.
Right.
Please. Please don't harm that wheel.
Oh, scores and soundtracks.
All right, there you go.
Don't harm that wheel.
Good spin by the champion. Let's see where it's going to land.
And here we go. Round and round it goes. Mike Kalinowski.
No opponents are spinner's
for
choice.
Something in the world of comic book
he's looking-
movies. This
Marvel.
could be
Marvel?
Marvel.
All right, what's he want to do?
You'll have to take it, alright?
This is
I think he might take it.
No, it's Marvel. I think that if it was MCU, he probably would
So-
have
You can't. Don't risk getting Star Trek or Lord of the Rings. Or,
Maybe looking over.
give you a 5 count.
even though he's decent, he's good at them.
Gonna go again.
Gonna go
All
again. Nice easy spin.
Ooh.
That's a strong spin.
It's risky. Risky.
All right, well, this gives us a perfect opportunity to remind everybody out there watching that I'll be in Seattle March 14th. You get tickets at markellislive.com.
And while you're at it, get tickets for the free-for-all.
That's March 23rd, Christian, in downtown Los Angeles at the Globe Theater. Did Mike happen
Yeah, he might
to
have been
spin the one he
DCU! Yeah!
Wow.
Yeah!
That's
DCU, and I'm going to remind everybody
God.
right now that wheel
Yes!
is a
He's
special wheel
good
because
to
the wheel for
you.
today's
Like,
match
he's never
is
gone
actually
like a real, like,
sponsored wheel,
10
and
for
that is
10
by
perfect.
Mr.
There's always been
Nathan
one
Ovenden.
question
How
to
about a
stump
hand
him.
for Nathan? Now, his
Well, the
sponsor
last time we
is
got it
Middle
against,
Ovenden. Thank you for those.
Haybon, he got 9 out of 10.
That wheel.
I think it was Mara that he also got DCU. And
For Mr. Kalinowski.
there's like a couple ones he
DCEU. All right, Mike.
went to multiple.
Questions here in the DCEU.
he needs to get 2 points here.
In
Like every
Justice
question.
League, we first see Wonder Woman following a terrorist bombing in which city?
London.
London, yeah.
Isn't that
5, 4.
whether the Lube or am I thinking of
Is
the
that
wrong?
correct?
London.
For 2 points.
That's a big steal. Now it's a
Big steal.
5-point gap.
All right. Here's the next one. In Aquaman, who voiced
I think he was thinking the same thing. I don't remember the Lube.
Raku.
Dijman Hansu.
Shimon Hansu
Yep.
is correct.
Nailed it.
That's correct. All right. Okay. Question 3. In
I
Suicide
didn't think it's
Squad,
the question.
Yeah, because you were
the squad
talking.
is first assembled at the airport to get their clothes and weapons. Who arrived in the large duffel bag?
Boomerang. Boomerang's in the duffel bag.
Yeah, boomerang.
Correct.
Also, George Hart.
He hops up, punches someone,
Two
right?
more.
Yeah, he punches a guy.
In Man of Steel, while in the interrogation room, using his X-ray vision, what does Superman say is also in Dr. Hamilton's breast pocket alongside with his ID badge? Five, 4, 3.
Pen?
Rule of lifesavers.
Correct.
Deep cut, and he nailed it.
Wow.
Last question.
See how
last
fucking
question.
specific
In
these are?
Justice League, when Bruce points out Barry's special heat-resistant suit, what sport does Barry claim to use it for as a cover story?
This got asked somewhere.
Isn't it all
Is it like Spelunky?
figure dancing?
4, 3,
Yeah.
2,
That makes sense.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, speed skating, B, ski jumping, C, ice dancing, D, luge?
Oh.
Ice
I think it's
dancing.
A.
1 point. All right. So Mike
That
got
makes
himself
sense.
a 2-point lead, but that steal was huge.
Looming large right now.
But
And Rachel Cushing is going to step up to the wheel here, Christian. You're right.
Fuck!
That was a 2-point steal. Rachel knew it right away. She knew it was Rachel, whenever
Do you reckon he overthought
you may
it?
spin said wheel.
Think so, yeah.
Rachel spinning
The
in
one where he
on the
just
rundown
was
Sponsored by
yesterday.
Nathan Ovenden.
He
On the rundown yesterday, and they asked her,
misthought of the
"Anything
answer.
on the wheel you're scared of?" Her response? No.
Star Wars.
I can't imagine that at this point.
Yeah.
You know, being a veteran
I mean,
of
that's
the
what
Innergeekdom,
battle scores and
both these
soundtracks.
competitors,
We
Well,
just don't
mixed bag,
know.
really.
even though he spun away from Marvel, I still think he would have done pretty well in that category.
No.
DC, or should we had DC? No,
DC almost got Harry Potter.
It's just anything other than Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. I can
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna spin again. Okay, spinning it. Here's the spin.
All right.
Big spin. And Rachel,
Like, she could still go perfect the other rounds, it's just-
Yeah.
Actually available now on TeePublic.
Oh, wow, that's
Thank you. It's on our
the
store.
Schmoedown really has ceased to become just a league and is in fact a family.
Yep.
You are the dad. I am the drunk uncle.
The only thing that you'd have to spin away from is if it hit DCEU.
That's right. It's coming around. It's not going to be DCU. It could be
It's not.
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Ooh,
Star
okay.
Trek.
Interesting.
That could be
She's good
solid.
at Star
5
Trek.
questions, and the
She's
category
good
that
at
allows me
Star
to do
Trek.
If they're
this.
going to be as deep as those DCU ones, maybe not, though. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, Rachel, the first of 5 questions. Total of 10 points on the table right now in your round number 2. In the beginning of Star Trek Beyond, Kirk has applied for a promotion. What would his new rank be?
Vice Admiral.
Give or take.
Admiral?
Wow. Quick on the draw there. Look at that. Tie game.
And it's already tied.
What is the name of Kirk's son in the original series films?
David.
That is the correct David. Yes, it is.
David.
Cushing is on fire.
It is not Edward. It is, in fact, David.
Wow.
All right. Your next question, Rachel. Number 3 in this round of 5.
Christian is
In
like
Star Trek
40
Motion
references.
Picture, Persis
Yeah.
Kambata
Kind of
plays
annoying.
what character? We need the character name.
Lieutenant Ilea.
And we got the rank for no additional points awarded. 2 points for
Rachel
Rachel.
Cushing is playing on another level right now.
2 more questions. Your penultimate one in round number dos. In Star Trek First Contact, who plays the man who discovers light speed, Zephyrin Cochrane?
James Cromwell.
It is, in fact, the guy from
Oh,
Babe.
that's probably the easiest question around.
A lot of active questions in this one compared to fucking last.
As Babe would say, la 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 la.
It's not like they asked
Rachel,
Lifesaver. except for
in round number 2
just
in the
talking
world
shit,
of
bro.
Star Trek. In 2009's Star Trek, Spock maroons a mutinous Kirk. What is the name of the planet that Kirk gets left on?
Delta Vega.
It is Delta Vega, the Las Vegas of outer space.
I mean,
That was a good pull.
Witnessing greatness.
I mean, this is like Jordan playing. Wow. All right. Okay, so now we get to round number 3 with Rachel finding herself with a big lead here. 8-point lead as we get into round number 3. That's the betting round. Here we go.
Spin it.
Rachel's like, I know,
Spin.
so I just want to spin this
Rachel
wheel.
gets to spin
Yeah,
in
we
there.
played before.
Sit down. They're gonna
Rachel
Rachel
gets a spin. I mean, I would say she didn't have the best 2 spins because she got what, like DC movies and Star
Well,
Trek.
you say that,
You
but to
didn't
her.
see Harry Potter. You
Yeah.
didn't see Middle Earth on there. And for Mike Kalinowski, we know that we still have things like the MCU lurking out there, Star Wars, scores and soundtracks.
This is interesting.
Is it going to be
No.
DCEU?
So
No,
the
yeah.
DCEU. This is something Mike
You'd have to go
wants say.
3.
Now, what will?
And I think Rachel will go 1.
DCEU?
Because I think she maybe saw how specific those were. And
Okay,
we're
so
like,
we're gonna write your
I'm
points
not going to
down,
risk it.
guys.
Judges have seen them.
All right, here we go. Here's the question. In Batman
I think she
versus
wrote
looks like she maybe wrote 2.
I think
what
she wrote 3.
weapon was Lex Luthor
She did 2 or
going
3.
to
Like,
think
it's
she
that
wrote
same
3.
motion.
Martha Kent killed?
She's gone for like the knockout.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Is it a flamethrower?
How many points, Mike?
I bet 2 points.
And you chose?
I said flamethrower.
And
What
Rachel, how many
weapon
points?
was next to
Oh, the guy, yeah.
Bomb.
But yeah,
Mike Kalinowski's
flamethrower.
correct.
Yeah!
Okay, so that's the swing we're
What
talking
about?
about.
Rachel loses 3.
Oh, Mike, man.
It's now a
It is a
20
3-point
to
game now.
19 game, 20 to 17 game.
Wow, I just wish he bet 3.
Boy,
Wow, Rachel had an 8-point, and
Shit.
now it is 3 points as the speed round comes. You were
But
right, though.
that-
As we were
Surprised
into that
Cushing
betting
bet
round,
3 there.
big. He hit the DCU,
Yeah.
and we find ourselves in a 3-point game. Wow.
I think she was one that she wanted as much
The speed round.
Yeah,
Head
knock it out.
start,
Going on
like,
if you
yeah,
think
she
the tide
wanted
can turn in the betting round, if
a
you're
good
watching
enough
at home,
lead
wait until
again
you see
on
what we have in
Kalinowski
store for these
to put the pressure on
competitors.
him
Now
on the
it
speed
is a
round.
gauntlet in a championship match in round 4, maybe the clearest in
Oh, this just got interesting.
Like,
Okay, guys, you guys are ready to go. All right, here we go. Speed round begins now.
Fuck. Here we
Who
go.
directed The Empire Strikes Back?
Mike,
Irvin
Irvin
Kershner.
Kershner.
Yes. Idris Elba, Kieran Hines, and Nicolas Cage.
Mike,
Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
Yes.
Ho, 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 ho.
Hackman portrayed Lex Luthor in how many?
3.
3.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Holy
Played
fuck.
Bilbo Baggins in.
Mike.
Martin Freeman.
No, it was,
Sorry,
you know,
2
lose a
seconds,
point.
didn't have
Lose
it.
a point. All right,
Ian
last
Holm.
one.
Hold
Give
on.
it 1 sec, and we are reset for the last question.
Who does Tony name as CEO of Star?
Pepper
Pepper
Pot.
Potts.
Pepper Potts.
Yes.
Tonight's fucking game, bitch! Let's go! Woo!
Down by 8, finds himself
Let's go!
My God.
Into the final round, the championship
Holy
round.
shit.
Could you imagine if he would have got that Bilbo and he's
I had a
up?
joke prepared once we get into round
Oh my
5
God.
that it's one more round and then I get to drink a beer, but this may not be the last round because we could be looking at some extra innings
Holy
here.
shit.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That
That
was
was, even if
crazy.
Mike
The
doesn't
fact
win, that
we
was
went
so
from
fucking
an
clutch.
8-point
Holy shit.
lead
Yeah.
to a tie game is
Brought it back.
crazy. Okay, here we go. Round number 5, championship
Holy
round.
moly.
What do we got?
3, 6, and 9.
3, 6, and 9 for the champion.
But yeah, at one point in the betting round, he would be up.
2, 8,
So
7.
Oh my
2,
God.
8,
I don't know
7.
so much,
Rachel
because,
will
yeah.
answer her 2-pointer first.
Oh, fucking
Category
shit.
number
She's
2,
answering
Rachel chose
first.
stars.
Yeah.
Low gray is which type of
Someone's
creature
gonna be
in Star
5 and
Wars
3
canon?
at the end of this.
Ewok.
Correct.
They're cute. They're adorable.
All right.
At least not a 5 for Mike anyway.
All right, Mike, you chose number 3, and this corresponds to a tiny little film trailer.
Oh,
Lord
God.
Of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. And your question, for 2 points, name the 2 human members of the Fellowship
Again, not a 5-pointer.
of the
So
Ring.
Aragorn and Boromir.
Aragorn and Boromir.
We are tied.
Here's Rachel.
Oh, thank you.
Here's Rachel.
that was a little
That's
busted.
why I want to keep
Three-pointer.
watching this.
Harry Potter for your 3-pointer. Harry Potter. What is the first name of the founder of the House of Hufflepuff?
Ilga.
Helga.
3 points. What a match! What a match!
You might get a sudden
We
death.
should know that too, so
Yeah, I
I
know.
apologize to Helga. I know she's watching.
All right.
All right, Christian, what number did Mike select for his 3
Mike
points?
chose 6.
I knew that. I was just testing you. Mike, for your 3-point question, you have selected. Rachel got one of her favorites with Harry Potter. Mike gets one of his favorites with the MCU. The MCU. And for 3 points, your question
Talk
is,
about specific.
what was the name of the legal documents the United
The
Nations
Accords.
passed that declared the
Sokovia
Avengers no
Accords.
longer be a private
Yeah.
organization in the film Captain America: Civil War? 3 points.
I believe it was signed by 117 nations,
5.
and that is the Sokovia Accords.
Didn't need the nation part, but he got 3 points.
So we're tied again.
How pissed would Mike be if, like, Rachel's question was, how many people signed
She
this
hits it, it
Sokovia?
bounces back to Mike, and Mike will try to hit his 5 regardless. Just whether or not he's going to try to tie it or try to win
Okay.
it will depend on this
Oh,
right
wow.
here, Rachel. Marvel films.
Come on, Blader.
In X2. What 3-word phrase
Thanks,
is
Doc.
written on the knife Nightcrawler leaves behind after his assassination attempt on the president?
Mutant Freedom Now.
5 points for Rachel.
Here we go.
And now we are in a very interesting position.
That has to be the points record in Innergeekdom, right?
Chance to tie it. If he
Think
hits
so,
it,
yeah.
we go to sudden death. However, if he misses it, Rachel Cushing
I'm
is
shaking.
the new
That'd
Innergeekdom
be
Yeah,
champion. Here we go.
I'm
Mike
terrified.
chose category number 9.
That corresponds to the category of.
He's got 2
These
repeats.
are the quotes.
He's got to use at least 1.
And your question is,
Oh, again.
when asked, do they fear, who responded with the quote, a cage, to stay behind bars until use and old age accept them, and all chance of valor is gone beyond recall or desire?
Five,
What?
4, 3.
Repeat the question.
Didn't
When
say the movie.
asked, do they fear, who
You're asking
responded
who
with
said it, didn't
the
even
quote,
say the movie.
a cage,
Wow.
to stay behind bars until use and old
As
age
he said-
accept them, and all chance of valor is gone beyond recall or desire?
5, 4,
It sounds like Salsy.
2.
Is it Eowyn?
Tie game! Kowalski has tied the game. Sudden death we go. It is a sudden death for
Holy
the
shit, my heart stopped there.
I'm
Wow.
fucking terrified. You know what? I feel bad if he loses now because he went to sudden
A
death.
little different this year into where each competitor both gets a JTE rule. It resets One JTE rule for sudden
Even though
death.
The rules play
Christian
out a lot
lied
like
to
round
Mike.
number 1. We're
He
going to ask
would've
a
lost.
question to the field.
Yeah.
You write down your best attempt at an answer.
So
You have
just
15
one.
seconds to do so. And once we ask you by name to reveal your
Oh,
answer,
God.
please show us what you wrote on the whiteboard. Please use your best penmanship. At the same time, you verbalize.
This
it
is
into
already
the
becoming
microphone. Here's
a
where
nominee
it
for
gets
a
tricky.
match of the
If you
year.
both get the question right, we move on to the next question.
Oh,
If you
shit.
both get the question
We're
wrong,
cold.
we move on to the next question. Should one of you get it right?
Didn't even tell him
and
the
other one
fucking
miss the
movie. That's
question,
bullshit.
The correct answer
I thought they meant like maybe Star Wars, like the
champion.
from Last Jedi or something, like the
I'm ready.
Challenger?
you know, they kept
Let's
behind
begin
games or
sudden
something like
death
that. But
in the realm of
Yeah, I had no idea
in the realm
where it was
of
from.
Star Wars. What is the name of the ship Holdo
It's like,
commanded
can you imagine
in
that?
The
You have
Last
not only
Jedi?
have to think of the quote, you have to think of what movie it's from, and then who, and then guess who.
And the character.
15 seconds, just like round number 1.
Oh, God.
Go deep
5,
into the recesses of your
4,
mind to try to calm yourself.
3, 2, 1. Mike
Cruiser Ninko.
and Rachel.
Ninka.
And your winner and new movie trivia Innergeekdom champion of the world, Rachel the Crusher Boucher. It was Ninka, not Ninka. He just missed it in one of the best Innergeekdom matches we've ever seen.
Oh, Christian, you tell me what it is about Innergeekdom matches, about the championship atmosphere.
she's done it.
A standing ovation from the crowd here as she raises the belt to the sky. They're chanting her name like the champion she is. Mike Kalinowski, very classy in defeat, handing
my
the belt to her
God.
willingly. We didn't have to get the authorities involved, and it's just something about the Innergeekdom and a championship level match, Christian, that requires sudden death. And you know what? We're here.
Two
for it.
straight sudden death matches.
I
Boy.
mean, I don't know. Man. I'm telling you, like that. I've seen. We've been doing this for a long time. That's got to be. If not, I don't care if it's teams. I don't care if it's singles. That's the best championship match there's ever been.
Time can be a cruel mistress, and sometimes we are prisoners of the moment. But I would not consider what you said hyperbole, because you look at the score, 31 to. I mean, Christian, this is what you want. This is why you pay the $2.99. Hell, my mom just texted me. She would have paid $20 for a match of this caliber.
It was crazy because look, Mike Kalinowski was in deep trouble. He came back.
That's a great point. That's right. Two perfect
he was
rounds.
down. He came back. He came back, and he had a perfect fifth round. He had a perfect speed round. He did. He almost.
1 point.
He dominated the speed round.
Yeah.
Oh, in that fucking
Just an
that
absolutely
big round too.
incredible showing.
Betting round,
Up there.
speed
And he showed why
round.
He was a champion.
He went on twice with the London question, the Justice League.
His next match pretty soon here.
That's right. Kalinowski, if there's one thing you can say about him, you get past all the corruption.
I'm really surprised he only
The
got two.
Innergeekdom category. He loves playing in this division, and he's not going to let a simple vowel like replacing an A with an O get him down for too long. He'll go home.
Rachel's the second double belter.
Ready to try to get that belt once again. And we just so happen to have an interview with Mike Kalinowski, who is followed by Rachel Cushing and his gaggle of men and women.
Not happy.
Oh, they're crowded with Jen Sturger. Jen, we hope you're hanging in okay.
We are running out of room back here, guys. We are running out of room. Mike,
Jennifer?
that match may have been one of the best matches I've ever seen here at the Schmoedown.
It got there. Eventually, it got there.
You were
know,
obviously behind round one, round two.
You could say that.
And then came the betting round.
I came through. You
and
know.
I mean, you literally felt the energy in the room shift, didn't you?
Yeah, it was my game. It was at that point I knew. Started off, had my fumbles. Midway through the match, I was like, this isn't going very well. But I'm a champion, and you dig back in, and you know what you know. And at the end there, it's my own fault. I do, as everyone knows, I study. I have my notebook. I wrote Ninko in my book, so it's my own spelling. Nothing to take that away. Rachel deserved that match. She played phenomenal. So, I'm glad. It went the way it did.
Yeah, as you guys are keep adding to your faction here, I've got to ask you, what's next for you guys?
What's next?
Are you going to continue in Innergeekdom? Are you going to challenge Rachel again? Like, what is going to happen now?
Well, of course, this isn't over. This is just how it goes. I lost. I'll come back and I'll go and I'll win it next time. Simple as that. It's not going to happen. I mean,
do you ever worry that she has your number? This is quite a few times now.
It's 3 now.
Yes,
3, and every time it's coming. You saw what happened there. So she bleeds. You know, going into that match, didn't look like she was going to bleed that far, but she did. I cut her and she
Riley
beat
eventually beat
and
Roko.
I pulled some great ones. The AO win that I thought was a great pull. But you know, you learn something for every match, and I love. It's easy to be the champ. It's easy to be. Everyone loves you. It's easy with the. You know, but however someone handles defeat, that's just as important. So she taught me that lesson.
So is your focus still going to be Innergeekdom, or
no? We're branching out. What do you look? You just said everything. Look at this. Come on, we're faction now. We're going everywhere. We've got teams going in this. I'm going back into singles, and I'm going to get back in that belt. Was it Comic-Con? That's where the next defense is going to be. That's where I'm going to be on the other side of that table, getting that belt back.
Spoilers, Mike. Jesus.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm just telling you what it is. It's how it's going to go.
Would you want to face Rachel at Comic-Con?
Of course I want to. Are you kidding me?
That's hilarious.
A spelling error? I'm going to lose on a spelling error? No. We're going to go again.
All right. Back to you guys.
Wait a minute, Christian. It appears as there Ken Knapsack.
Oh wait, Ken Knapsack.
Ken Knapsack and Grace Hancock.
Oh, they had some words. Okay, well, fine. Let's have Ken and Grace.
Yeah, I didn't.
What?
Fine. Ken and Grace had some words apparently.
Well, Jennifer, I want to let you know there's been some wild accusations that the wonderful lioness returning, we own the copyright on that name, by the way, has distracted Roxy and sent her down the 5 freeway to Disneyland or something. Where did you do that?
If sweet, precious little baby Roxy is having a blonde moment and can't keep her Google Calendar straight, it's not my problem.
Yes, that's our official statement on that situation, so all the chat rooms can stop asking that question now.
You guys do know there's such thing as caller ID, right?
Look, counterintelligence, we have it. We've blocked it. That you can do that, right? You could just buy. We bought an Android. We bought an Android or something.
Great. Can I go back to the desk now?
Christian, I don't know what. I know that Grace Hancock just insulted all blondes, and as somebody who dyed his hair blonde for 3 months, I take that personally.
Yeah. Oh man, that was. Look, I gotta say, to be honest, I liked Mike's interview. I really did.
Classy with a capital K.
I mean, look, he's obviously been under the lights here for the last year about making some moves that maybe weren't very favorable with the audience, but he played like a champion today. He really did. He just happened to miss. You know, it's funny. Again, I mentioned the Schmoedown Rundown episode, and Rachel said it inside of that episode. She said this is going to be a knockout, drag-out fight, and it's all going to be about the brain fart. It's all going to be about just the one person that misses, and Mike just happened to be that one at the very last second. He almost had it. He almost had the ship, but Rachel had the actual ship, and because of that, she is now the double-belted champion, and Jen Sturger is with the new Movie Trivia Schmoedown Innergeekdom champion, Rachel the Crusher.
That's right, guys. Oh, Rachel, don't ruin your makeup. You look amazing. Your shoulders have got to be getting heavy at this point. Congratulations on being the first double-belted champion woman. I mean, I'm just flabbergasted by everything that I just saw. Is it like a prerequisite for you that you have to put on the match of the year every time?
I don't know. That was a hell of a match, and first and foremost, I will say, corruption aside, Mike, that was an incredible match, well fought. You fought back. I mean, not a lot of people would fight back from an 8-point deficit, and he did, and he got that quote from my girl Aowen, and so like props to him, and thank you for making that a knockdown drag out fight. I am going to go home and sleep for a week. But game knows game, and he studies hard, and he is a top contender for a reason. The people he surrounds himself with, I can't account for, but whatever.
Speaking of people that you surround yourself with, obviously Clark isn't with you right now, and you guys just recently lost Emma. So the Fife Club is obviously in shambles right now. What does this win mean to you?
Oh, it means everything to me. And Clark was in my corner today. She walked out with me, and she stood by my side while that gaggle walked out. And I owe her everything. She's my ride or die. And next up, we're defending this belt right here, and we're really excited about it. And we are very proud of Emma and excited for her new opportunities. And Mark's going his own way, but Clark and I have each other, and that'll be more than enough.
Absolutely. How cool is it to see little girls wearing your face on their shirts?
It makes all of this so worth it.
Sorry, looks like
there's
the shot
a
seems to be
lot
on, right?
that goes into this, and all the competitors put our hearts and souls into it, and sometimes it's really hard. But then you look at the little girls that were at the New York Live event, Christian's daughter, and others who have come up to me and called me a role model, and it just wipes away all the trolls and all the negativity, and makes me even more proud to be standing here with both of these belts, because if it inspires even one of them to think that they could do something like this, as silly as this is. Come here, come here. This is Viv. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Look at the camera and say hi.
Hi. Who knew Christian's daughter would be this shy about speaking?
And I love that she's a huge geek and knows way more about Harry Potter than her dad ever will. Thank you, sweetie.
God, how sweet is this? So obviously, all today feels really good, and I'm sure you are gonna go home and rest. But I gotta ask you, Mike's already calling for you at Comic-Con. Any chance that you would want to see that happen?
Innergeekdom though is struggling. It's so fucking massive.
Bring it.
Back to you guys.
Wow, how about that? My goodness, there is your new Innergeekdom champion as well as your team champion. Rachel,
She earned that. I'll give her that.
Finally, fulfilling your
She earned that line.
Innergeekdom champion, and thank you to both Rachel Cushing and Mike Kalinowski for putting on one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, Rachel and Mike put on a hell of a show, but we need to tighten security up around here. We got random fans just running into interviews. I mean, it is chaos here in the studio, absolute entropy, and that's what you want after an amazing Innergeekdom championship match, after one hell of a team match that we had as the undercard, and that is all thanks to everyone out there for watching us and supporting us year in, year out, day in, day out here on the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Patreon, thank you so much for tuning into this live stream. We're going to give a shout out to our friends at Himalaya. You want to check out the podcast version of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown, go to Himalaya.fm. And Christian, before I turn it over to you to say goodnight, I'll just let everybody out there know, in the words of our dearly departed, late, great comedian friend, Brody Stevens, keep pushing, stay positive. Was this one of the best matches we've ever had? You got it.
It absolutely was, and I know he's looking at us, smiling at us right now. So look, this was something special. The Schmoedown Throwdown. We've had our live events, and the live events we started in New York. Season 6, we told you it was going to be something special, and it has been. This has been the magic season. It is continuing to be the magic season, and every single match just keeps proving that. This Schmoedown Throwdown was fantastic. I thank for everybody who's been watching.
What does that mean, the magic season? I have no idea what that is, what that means.
I think maybe just
Just like a tagline.
As well as Chicago, that's going down. And if there's still tickets left, Mark said it before, there are the 2 live events. Make sure to get those tickets today. Mark said it before as far as Himalaya goes. It is very helpful if you can go to the Apple Podcast or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast and download it. It really helps. That's a way to do it. Some people go, well, if I can't spend the money on it, on Patreon, how do I get
How do I hit the button if I don't know what the thing is?
Just subscribe to the podcast feed. It continues to help tremendously. Thank you guys. Really hope that you enjoyed it, because I know we did. I know this crowd did.
How do I get a credit card?
Congratulations to the new Movie Trivia Schmoedown Innergeekdom champion, Rachel the Crusher Cushing, for Mark Ellis.
You want to bite of my bouquet?
No, I'm cool. And for everybody else in studio, I'm Christian Arloff. We'll see you.
I want another match. That's fucking bullshit. I want another.
Guys, I'm at a loss for words. I'm tired. I am exhausted. I'm sweating. I'm still shaking. Like, we're going to get into specifics real soon. But, I mean, we literally just got done watching the match 5 seconds ago. So I'm going to give us time to regroup and gather our thoughts. The moment we've all been waiting for. I created the Corruption group page. Jake, Mike, you guys are great members. We're helping Mike study. Round 1. Well, first off, no entrances, really, if you think about it. They're in business.
They came in.
I think the live event maybe sort of dictated that. You couldn't be too elaborate.
Yeah, that's probably true. Oh, one thing we do want to shout out, Stacy, officially a member of Corruption. She came out with Corruption. That was definitely something we speculated, and we definitely, heard the music, and we were like, is that what's going to happen? They were like, nope, we're just going to, that happened. So that was interesting to see. And then Clark was able to show up, fortunately for Rachel, be by her side. They remembered the belts this time. That was also a very important factor.
They're learning.
No Emma presence because she's officially just the Innergeekdom commissioner now. She's no more a sneak little manager situation bringing you the belt. All right, fine. I procrastinated long enough. Let's talk about it. Round 1. Rachel goes perfect. 10 for 10. Mike misses 2 questions. He gets 8. You could tell his mind was a little, I don't know if it was necessarily nervous or just like, so he's prepped so hard that a lot of the things are just like, you know what I mean? Like they're just clashing, and he's thinking of one, like in the Tommy Lee Jones question, you could tell he overthought that. Like the fact he had to go repeat on the very first question for Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah. It's one of those situations where as much as he's studying, he's seeing all these names, he's just like, who's in the movie? Who's in the movie? Who's in the movie? Who's in the movie? And then he's like, oh, duh. Like, I'm an idiot. Like, it was one. I really, truly believe it was one of those situations. So at the end of round 1, it's 10-8. Rachel gets the perfect round, so she gets the bonus. She gets it. And that was a question of what page number does Snape say open in Prisoner of Azkaban when he's filling in for Loomis? That was ridiculous. Or Lupin. Yeah, Lupin. I said Loomis. Lupin. So, Jake, what were your thoughts on Rachel's performance in round 1?
It was, as expected. Like, Cushing is probably the best player.
Jake, you and Mike, there was a question about Batman and Robin. You and Mike both had the same answer. Do you want to sort of elaborate on that
I
explain
why? I feel like at the end of in hindsight, Kalinowski should have challenged, because really that's kind of the whole point of why Mr. Freeze wants to go to the observatory, because that's what he's gonna use to. It's not just some regular telescope, it's part of the observatory. So really, if I was in Kalinowski's position, I would have probably just challenged it and see what happens.
I mean, worst comes to worst, you get a new question. You know what I mean? You either get the point, or it's a new question, and maybe you get it, or maybe even she gets it wrong. You know what I mean? It just doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, that just wasn't right with me. I would have challenged that. Honestly, it should have been right in the first place. There was the observatory that he needed to weaponize. So, yeah, I feel a little iffy about that.
Michael, do you feel like he opted not to challenge because he's like, this match, there's so much at stake in this match that I might actually need it for a higher point value later on?
I think that was question 2 or 3 in round 1. If that was the 9th question in round 1, maybe because I think he missed, the other question he missed was Necromancer. I just think that's one he just doesn't know, sort of a Hobbit. It's just clearly just didn't know it. So I think maybe it's the 9th or 10th question in round 1. I think maybe he goes and for the challenge. But because it's always just so early and there's so much to go, I think that's where he hesitated. But yeah,
you could see he was looking off screen, probably either to Ken, to Chance. He's like, should I challenge? And we obviously we don't know what they were saying, but at the end of the day, he opted not to challenge. Once again, I was saying he probably should. You know, as you can see in the fan leagues, me and Jake were definitely proponents of challenging as much as we can, because what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to lose the challenge, but 9 out of 10 times in a match, you don't even use challenges. So.
Yeah, because how often would you need 2 challenges in one match?
Yeah.
If you need 2, then something's sort of happening with the question writers and hosts and all that stuff that it's not your fault. So it's very rare you need 1 challenge. It's even rarer you need 2 challenges.
Exactly. So we truly believe he should have used that, and I get that's one of those situations where you just haven't been in that situation, so you're just it's rough, and the stakes, the pressure, I understand. So at the end of round 1, it's 11-8. Rachel decides to go second. Mike goes. He spins the wheel, and he gets Marvel. Not MCU. Marvel. And you can tell he's hesitating. He's thinking about it, because he's like, I know X-Men. I know Blade decently. You know, I'm going to spin again. He spins again, and he gets, Jake?
He gets his strength, DCEU.
He gets the DCU, but you can tell on his face, it's like, oof. It's a championship.
These questions could be deeper.
DCEU has been asked a lot. There's only 5 movies, I'm pretty sure. 5 movies?
Yeah.
So it's like, there's how much can you really, what can you ask at this point that hasn't been asked already? So he's walking over there quietly. He sits down, gets the questions. These were some doozies. These were definitely some doozies. Don't get me wrong. He impressed. He answered a lot right. that I think the most impressive pull that he got was the Man of Steel lifesavers.
Lifesaver.
Yeah, the mints.
That's kind of crazy.
I mean, that's almost. I think that's not as crazy as the page numbers for the bonus question, because that's the page number. I mean, it could be an important line, but I don't hear anybody talk about it. So it's it's one of that. But it was just one of those. I was like, oof, man, that's rough. But he did really well. The one we need to talk about. It is very first question. Wonder Woman. What city does she save people? She had the fight, and he goes Paris. Do you truly believe he thought it was Paris? Or do you think?
I think they're in Paris at the end of the movie, maybe.
Okay.
I could be clear on, but I remember like the Louvre somewhere in Wonder Woman, so maybe he was just thinking of that.
Yeah, wrong scene.
But it was, that was like sort of an error in judgment there that unfortunately came back to bite him.
And Rachel did not hesitate. She said London right away, 2-point steal. So we've already touched on it. That 2-point steal and that not challenge in round 1, that's a potential 4-point swing, 5-point swing, depending on the ruling on the challenge, 6-point swing even. You never know. Like, that's a big difference. But overall, he does pretty well in DCEU. He's up, I think, 2 points only. 3 points. I honestly didn't write down.
He got 15.
It was 15.
Yeah. I didn't write down any notes, as you guys can see. I was so nervous, I was invested, so I don't know the specifics. But
after Mike's round, it was 15.
So he was only up 15-12, which is rough because Rachel has a chance to get 10 points and be up almost a lot. So and as Christian mentioned in the match, he was like, Rachel had an episode of the Rundown, and she was like, "What on the wheel?" Or they were like, "What on the wheel are you afraid of?" And she's like, "Nothing." And at this point, I've never been a huge fan of Rachel, as a competitor. Not saying I dislike her by any means, but I've just never been a fan of her. I believe that when it's to this point where I actually believed it. Like, we were kind of speculating in our last match against Slavic that maybe scores and soundtracks, maybe Star Trek, and we're gonna see in a couple seconds that that's probably not the case. So she goes up to the wheel, she spins, and she gets DC one slice away from Harry Potter. So she's kind of like laughing and kind of like being like, ooh, shit, so close. And Christian's over at the desk like, no, it's cool. He chose DCEU. She's like, I know. I was worried. I was thinking about Harry Potter and how close I was to that. So that was pretty funny, especially at the live there. The miscommunication there, but it's just something so small. I thought that was funny. She decides to go again, and she spins, like I just alluded to a minute ago, Star Trek. Jake, when she spun Star Trek, did you think like, oh shit, all right, we this isn't gonna get as bad as I think, or is it like, I don't know what's gonna happen?
I knew she was going to do well, considering on how she did against Makia when she got Star Trek. She missed a couple, but she still did better than anyone would have thought. And Cushing's been studying. We say that Inman and Kalinowski have been studying. Cushing has also, and it proved that she did not have any gaps really in that game, and she got a perfect round.
Yeah, Mike, did that impress you just as far as Rachel in general, Star Trek questions in general, just Innergeekdom in general, or is it one of those where it's like when you're rolling, you're rolling? What do you think?
Well, anytime someone goes perfect round 2, you can't help but be impressed. And I know, like, the main strengths of Rachel are Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, but I also knew she's pretty good at Star Trek, and I think she's been like talking about that she wants certain questions in Star Trek, and I was not surprised she went perfect in round 2, and it sort of created a big separation from Mike, which is the opposite of what Mike was hoping for.
Yeah, what was the score? It was 8 points, right?
Yeah,
23-15.
23-15. Yeah.
And so going into round 3, I didn't know what was going to happen, but she spun the wheel and it was DCU. Okay. I think, Mike, you guessed she was going to go 1, maybe 2, right? I think that's what you're thinking.
Because I was like, Mike's going 3, easy, not even thinking about it. Rachel, she's up by that much. She'll go 1 or 2. And
then I looked at Rachel closely, and I saw that full swiggle. I was like, I'm pretty sure she went 3. So I was like, oh shit, it's going to be 3 versus 3. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be huge. Either they're both going to get it right, and it's going to be the same 8 8-point deficit. They're both going to get it wrong somehow, and it's going to be the same 8-point deficit, or one or the other. So either Mike's going to be damn near knockout territory at this point, or he's going to make a big comeback. The question was,
what weapon does Lex Luthor want to
kill Martha Kent
with? Yeah.
in Batman v Superman, which at first I didn't like the wording of the question because I was thinking of like what he was going to use, and it was like one of his henchmen, right? Like it was henchmen in the warehouse scene. So that threw me off for a second because I was thinking of when he caught her in the alley. So I was like, oh shit, a knife. And then Jake said flamethrower. So then I brought my mind into the warehouse. I'm like, oh yeah, duh, because that guy's carrying the thing and he ends up exploding. We flip the boards. Mike gets a right, flamethrower. He only bet 2. Do you think because of how deep those questions in round 2 got that kind of affected him a little bit, or do you think he was just playing it safe in general?
I'll say that I think that definitely played a part into it. If he had just gotten DC movies and had the same round, I think he goes 3 with DC EU. But because it was the same category back to back, I think he was worried that there'll be another lifesavers type of question that he just didn't know. But yeah, it was unfortunate because Mike knew it right away, and you could see Rachel was like sort of didn't really know, and I was like, oh, here we go, this is gonna be a massive swing, which it was, but it could have been a little bit more.
Exactly. And Jake, were you surprised that Rachel didn't pull it? I mean, she said what, a bomb? So are you? I mean, that's a good answer. Like, I mean, whatever, like in most movies,
she could be like strapped to a bomb.
Yeah, in most movies, the answer is bomb. So. Are you surprised she missed that, or is that one where it's like that's
And now you're surprised she bet 3.
Well, I don't know why. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know why she bet 3. Is that one where it's like I want to have as much distance between me and Mike because I know Mike's going to go 3?
Maybe she was feeling herself. She might have been feeling herself and was like, "Yo, if I get 3 and he bets 3, more than likely you will." Think about it. It was 23-15. If she got 3 and he missed it, that's 26-10. Like. I think that's knockout territory. That's already knockout territory because the most you can get in round 4 is 5. So I think that might have been her thought process. Could you imagine a knockout in round 3 of a 5 round? That would have been sick. So I kind of respect the decision, especially because she was playing so well up to that point. I get that strategically it's not the best decision, but just as a player who's great at Innergeekdom and one of the greatest of all time, I do respect the decision of like, yo. If I'm going to go out showing that I'm confident in myself. So I do respect the decision. It strategically might not have been the best idea. Maybe if Emma was there, she would have talked her out of it. So I mean the lack of Emma in this match definitely played a part, I think, just there. But I respect it. I understand it. I don't agree with it, but I respect it. So we go into round 4. I'm nervous. At this point, it's 23-17. Right?
No, it's 20 to 17.
Yeah, that's what I said. 20-17. That's what. Yeah. They mice 3, so it's 20-17. Rachel is known for been studying the buzzer round. We don't know if Mike is really that good at the buzzer round. I mean, he had the 1 so far, and he did pretty good. But it's like he doesn't have as much experience. Where Rachel at this point, she's had a bunch of experience. Doing the buzzer. They test it. They've proven that they've taken them home and they've tested. I don't know if Mike's been doing that. If I missed that part, I'm sorry. I'm nervous. My man Mike is out here balls it out. He's just hearing the first couple words. Bam! How many movies was Lex Luthor in? 3!
Who Directed Empire?
Boom, Irvin Kershner. You know what I'm saying? My man is just out here killing it. He gets 4 out of 5. Rachel doesn't get a single question. And he would have went fucking 5 out of 5 if he just would have heard one more word. I bet you if he just would have heard one more word in the... what movie did Bilbo... Who played Bilbo? I swear to God, if you just would have heard one more word in Lord of the Rings or Hobbit, because honestly, that's the first word that you're hearing. Lore or bam, Martin Freeman or Ian Holm. He's starting to say Freeman. I don't think we end up hearing the question, so I don't know what the answer would have been. It's one of the two, 50-50 shot, but he hesitated on picking that shot, so that was tough. So I mean, if you're gonna miss it, regardless from not saying anything, you gotta throw out a name. So I'm a little bummed out there, but we have a tie game. Going into round 5. I did not see that coming. Jake, he's down 8 points going into that. Going into round 3, I did not see that coming. Tie game, 20-20. Like, what the hell?
The power of round 3 and 4, it completely changed the atmosphere of, I'm assuming, the audience, because everyone was like, yeah, Cushing's got this. It was an 8-point deficit, and then round 3 and 4 happened, and it was tied.
Christian's like commentating in the entire thing. He's like, Rachel's killing it. Rachel's doing this. That's impressive. This is the best thing we've ever seen. You know, all this stuff. And then, whew, my man Mike Killer Kalinowski came out there. He's like, yo, relax. Like, you know, he handled his business and he came to play. He's like,
relax.
Yeah,
like his partner.
He's like, if I'm gonna lose respectively at this point. And honestly, I'm saying this right now. If there's anybody in the comments talking shit about Mike, talking about he was a one-hit wonder, he doesn't deserve to ever been the champ, let alone blah 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 blah, I'm a fucking kick their ass. You know what I mean? Like, Mike proved that not only is a great Innergeekdom player, he was a great champion. He lost by, obviously you know at this point he lost, but ends up losing by 1 point by, you know, a thing. So I just want to start that by saying that. So before we get into the specifics,
I was going to say something about the speed round. Yeah. Like, it was interesting. I did say before, I was like, Mike's got to come out aggressive here, and he did. He did what he needed to do, even if he was missing the questions. At that point, yeah, like as we saw, Rachel would go perfect in round 3. You can't rely on her to miss. That's what he had to do, and he did it. And I was proud of him to do that. And it just, like you said, it flipped the whole game, because now Mike is getting to dictate the terms of the game. He gets to choose the numbers. He gets to answer second. He knows what he needs to do. It's kind of a crazy moment, and one that I'll probably go back and watch, like, that specific moment quite a bit, because that'll be remembered for some time.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if you can really fit this into a category in the awards, like moment of the year, like just his round 4 in this match. If that can be considered a moment, like if it's not, you know, considered too long, yeah, that would be, and like if not the winner, at least nominated. Like, you know, let's think about that. Something.
Yeah, it was like LeBron James and the Cavaliers being down 3-1 to the Warriors. He was like, I know what I need to do, and bam, he came back. He was very clutch.
Yeah, sports ball, baby, Ani. You know. So we get into round 5, and like you said, Mike Kalinowski gets to pick the numbers. He gets to go second now, because he's the champ. He's, you know, the favorite, you know, on paper. So it's back in his court. So we get their numbers. He goes 3-6-9. She goes 4-8-7, something like that. 2-8-7, something like that. So she goes first. She hits it. He goes. He hits it. She goes, she hits it, he goes, he hits it, she goes, she hits it. Mike goes. I've never been more nervous in my life.
The category was...
Who said it?
Who said it? Yeah.
Which he missed his last match against
Lara. It could be easy, or it could be just brutal.
And this question was the definition of who said it. He got a quote. He didn't get the movie. He didn't get any context. He just got a quote.
He didn't get like which Lord of the Rings character, which doesn't give you the movie, but it gives you the franchise. It was just, who said it?
He got nothing. Like, this is as vague as you can get. I get it, it's a 5-pointer, but you got to at least have one clue in there or something. Nothing. Who said the following quote? Like, what are we doing? He repeats. Christian lied to him, said it's his last one. I was ready to punch Christian in the face right there. I'm like, if he loses because he didn't get his one more repeat, I'm gonna be pissed. He says Aowen, and you hear Rachel in the background. Yeah, it was.
Yep.
For 5 points, tie game. Holy shite! I was at a loss for words. I'm screaming. I didn't care. I'm screaming. I was hyped. Jake, when he says Aowen, and when you hear Rachel confirm it before even Christian, how are you feeling, bud? I know. Oh,
I felt good. I felt real good. I knew at that point he had gone there, and I was like, yes, this is going to get interesting now. Sudden death could change everything. It just was crazy. From round 2, the end of round 2 to when it was now, I was just like, that's what you call a comeback.
Yeah, it's almost like he scored 1 point in round 1 and ended up doing really well in rounds 2 and 3, and somebody didn't know Return of the Kings or something like that. You know what I mean? You know,
that never happened.
It never happens. Crazy. Michael, when you heard that is correct, or however Christian said it, how did you feel on the inside?
Well, before the answer, he turned to Rachel and gave a look, and I was like, oh, is he about to say like congratulations because I don't know it, like, so well done, But in retrospect, he gave the look to Rachel because it was Erwin, Rachel's girl, Erwin. So he was a little bit of a wink and a nod, like, I know this. That was kind of badass. And then, you hear Rachel whisper, like, yep, that's it. I was like, is she like fucking with Mike to make him get his hopes up? But yeah, it was announced correct, and then after that big whirlwind of a comeback, we still got more questions to go. It's like, now you got to get in the right mindset. And yeah, Mike's been on the opposite side of that with the team match against Founding Fathers, where there's a big answer for a 5-pointer. You got to get back in the mindset. So I was sort of confident he could do that, but he did. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And like here's the best like comparison or like description of how I know if I'm a fan of somebody. That me jumping and me screaming, that was all involuntary. I wasn't doing that for show. Like, I legit was hype for this. Like, I've gotten to a point where I was like, all right, I like Kalinowski. I'm going to jump on this fan base like right at the beginning, and it's kind of like good timing because I've always liked him. And I was like, all right, well, I've never really claimed a favorite player. I used to like Roka, now I hate his guts. But I was like, all right, so I need a new favorite player. So I was like, I'm really gonna start riding the Kalinowski train, and it's just gone up there. And when he hit that 5-pointer, or when he was getting those speed rounds, when he got that round 3, I was hype and I'm ready to go. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to happen. Let's go. First question. What is the name of Holdo's ship in The Last Jedi? Rachel fucking writes this right away. Like, right away. Like,
You could tell it was something that, like, she studied. She saw it was like, that might be asked someday, so I'll lock it in. It was like one of those type of questions.
Mike was like, I don't know this. Did he
oh.
officially ask for the repeat, or did he get it?
No, he didn't.
He didn't use a repeat.
He was thinking to ask a repeat, and he hurried up and wrote it down. Okay, cool.
That's why I was like, oh, he got the answer, and he didn't need to use a repeat, so that's good. We're good now. We'll see.
He goes, what is it? What was it? Starship?
It was Nunko. Was it Nunko or Nunko? The correct answer was Ninka. I think it was maybe Ninka.
Ninko. Oh. But it was like Starship Ninko or something like that. He had a word before it. And then she was like...
Cruiser. I think it was Cruiser.
Yeah, Cruiser, Ninko. And then she goes, Ninka. And your winner. And everyone's like, oh, he's like, oh, wait. I want you all to hear. And no. Oh, my.
It's a tough loss.
See, to be honest, if I didn't believe that there were so many Mike haters out there, this loss wouldn't affect me as much, because this is a loss that's like Rocky versus Apollo. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I lost, but it's like, okay, I got respect. I'm just so afraid that he's not going to get the respect that he deserves, because of all the bullshit, like, oh, he didn't earn the title shot against Mara. Oh, blah, 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 blah. He's white bread, blah. He's not going to defend the title, blah, blah, blah. He scored 30 points. He lost because of one letter, and it's his fault. He said it in his post-match. He wrote it in his notes. It's his fault. But at the end of the day, he lost because of one letter. It's not like he was like, I don't know it. Like, we've seen so many players give up and was like, I don't know it. Congratulations. Who directed the Burbs. We understand, like, we don't know sometimes the answers. So, it just happens.
Ouch.
It just happens sometimes. So I'm afraid that his performance is going to get overshadowed with the fact that he couldn't defend the title, and that's going to really bum me out if that is the case, but we'll see. Congratulations to Rachel. Played a hell of a match. I think we didn't touch on it yet, but I think the fact that her aggressiveness in round 3 bit her in the ass, that she was a little dialed back in round 4, and I think Mike was able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, because if she bets 2 instead of 3, then she's answering to win as well. So that she doesn't have to go to multiple sudden death. So kind of crazy to look back on that betting round was huge.
Exactly. So I really feel like that bit her in the ass, and that helped the momentum. So other than it being kind of like a failed strategy, like I said, no Emma, so maybe that would have been a big difference. People truly don't understand how managers come into play. I almost guarantee you if Emma's there, she says bet 1. And then Rachel maybe bets 2 just because she's, Rachel. Because she knows she's good. But definitely not 3. Almost guaranteed. So Rachel played a hell of a match. I don't want to take anything away from that. But I do want to Mike, it was a bummer. And I really hope he gets the respect he deserves. Anybody watching this, give him some love, man. He played his ass off. not only did he end up scoring 30 points, he had 8 points in round 1, like they were saying early in the match. Like, if anybody says Mike scored 8 in round 1, that's like, great job, great round 1. But Rachel just happened to score 11. So I mean, it's nothing against him in this entire match. Rachel just played better. Like you say, that's not Mike didn't lose, Rachel won. So congratulations to her. Nothing really other than the fact, what happened in the interviews. You got corruption. They're kind of bummed out. Got Ken talking, Grace talking about with the Roxy stuff. It is what it is. That was fun, but nothing really happened. Mike's like, I want my rematch. He's not a down and out. Still, he's gonna get back in singles. They're still in teams. Ken maybe one day Star Wars. Maybe Grace and Stacy can team up, or who knows what's gonna happen. Rachel, she's got the double belts. Her shoulders are tired. She's happy.
We had one of probably the most adorable moments ever in Toronto history was Christian's daughter.
Christian's daughter comes out. She's got her Hogwarts robes on. I think it was Gryffindor. So that was awesome. And shout out to Christian for not knowing enough Harry Potter in comparison to his daughter. So go her. That was definitely adorable. So I can't wait to see her compete in Innergeekdom next year and do great. I don't know what the age limit for Innergeekdom, but get you in there. Get you in there. Get your studying going. So any final thoughts, Jake, from this match? This was a rough one, but it was definitely a great one.
For us, yeah, but it was still a great performance. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is Cushing's 5th perfect round, including bonus, which is the most that any competitor has. I believe McQueenie is now 2nd with 4, but props to Cushing for that. She's also the 2nd person to hold 2 belts. First being Sam Levine, who had the singles and teams. And now we see the exact opposite with teams and Innergeekdom. So that's a first also for that. And it will be interesting to see what she does in Innergeekdom, the next title match, because Kalinowski, I don't know if you just let it slip or if that's going to be cut out. We might need to cut this out. The next title match is going to be at Comic-Con.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens and go from there. So, Michael, any final thoughts from this one?
Rachel, even though it was like a good comeback by Mike, Rachel played dominantly enough to probably win by TKO. She only missed one question. It was just she didn't know the baby round question, which is, other than the 5-pointer, I would say maybe the most important question in the match, title match. She only missed one question, so she played great. She's probably not going to go. I know people want her to probably be a triple belt person, but I think she's said in the past that competing in 2 leagues at this level is hard enough for her and enough pressure on her. So I don't think she's going to do singles for a while. Maybe whenever she loses those belts, if she does, maybe she'll go to singles. But I think she's going to continue to take a break from singles. And I'm curious what will happen with Mike. He didn't defend, so I think he will have to play another regular IG match to get to Comic-Con.
I have a thought.
And that'll be interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
The winner of Smets and Navarro plays Mike. That could be a good one.
Maybe.
I mean, if you
I think they might have to go to another match to get to Mike first, but I think I'd see them being on the par, Smets and Navarro. So
that's definitely something. So this was a heartbreaker, Mike. If you're watching this, we got this. Road to the next one is gonna happen. Just like in the Innergeekdom tournament, you keep winning, she'll keep winning. You're gonna see her again. So that's how it's gonna go. She doesn't have to win. She's already won. But you keep winning, you're gonna see her again.
And Mike's not finished by any means. He's still got teams for chance. They're 2-1, so they're right in the mix of title contention. And as I think is he top 10 ranked in singles, or it might be 11 or 12. So he's still right there in singles. So this definitely isn't the last we've heard of Mike.
Yeah,
not at all.
Exactly. And once again, I'm just hoping that the comments, at least even if they're in kayfabe, however you want to say that, in character, and want to mess with them, I hope he does get a lot of respect, because whatever you want to think about him as a person, him as a character, I hope he gets credit for his performance, because I feel like that would be the sad part of this entire outcome is scoring 30 points and get called up a paper jump or something crappy like that. That would be sucky. So Jake, any final words?
I just want to say
Go ahead.
I also want to say one thing. I hope Mike's not too down on himself. I know how much he loves the Innergeekdom League and loves being champion. Hopefully he's not too down on himself and he realizes he played great and he can just learn from it. And I reckon he'll be back. I would not be surprised if it's Rachel versus Mike again. And he went to this is 2 straight sudden death title matches for Mike, so it's never easy whenever Mike's in a match, and he always has to earn. He always has to go the hardest route, and I think that's what he wants. And that's how he'd like it. And hopefully he can get back, and hopefully he realizes that even though he lost, he played great, and we want to see more of him, and he comes back even stronger.
Exactly. Legitimately, Christian, if you're watching us, Mike versus Rachel in a best of 7 series. Let's do it. I bet you it goes to 7. So, Jake, any final thoughts?
Cushing had mentioned that she's already beaten Mike 3 times, so if he wanted to play a 4th time, then he'd beat him there. And
her exact words was, if he wants to lose for a 4th time, go ahead.
I think that's a little cocky on Cushing's.
I said it earlier. She earned that.
To be fair,
she earned that. It might have been It might have been a little arrogant, but she earned it.
I was gonna say at that point, I think she kind of earned, especially when you have 3 wins over someone.
But like I mentioned earlier, Riley eventually got his win over Roka, so you never know. Don't ever.
That's
don't ever
also a
assume
good point.
anything.
So it'll be interesting who, as far as the next competitor goes for Cushing, who besides Mike could stand up to Cushing. Smet seems like a good possibility. Yeah. So we just have to wait.
I truly believe Innergeekdom's one of those leagues where you have players that know their stuff, but I don't think you have any people that prepare more than those two until we see Robert the Hobbit Parker in Innergeekdom. So with that being said, I am Henry Confidential. That is Jake Marangoni. That is Michael Campbell. Please, if you guys look above, you see our letterbox, give us a follow. We're decent guys. We like to write some reviews, rank some movies, do all that type of jazz. If you made it to this far in the video, please give us a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're going to be doing our reaction analysis. We might be missing a couple on the channel just because, some stuff, corruption files, it happened. It is what it is. #corruption.
That's the real corruption.
Yeah, exactly. So it is what it is. But our goal is to get nominated. We want to have some fun. We want to be recognized. We want to be, talking about the Schmoedown with you guys. So comment below everything that you guys want to talk about, our analysis, this match, whatever you guys want to talk about. Hit us up, and we're going to have some fun. Mike, you'll be back. Rachel, once again, congratulations. I'm not necessarily going to say I'm a fan, but I'm a believer. So I'm Henry Confidential. That is Jake. That is Michael. We're Confidential Cinema.